At 12 years old, Arman dreamed of becoming an astronaut. His bedroom walls were covered with posters of galaxies, planets, and rockets. Among them was his favorite, an image of the Apollo 11 moon landing. It hung directly above his bed. He stared at it every night. But something always felt a little off. There were no stars. The sky behind the astronauts and lunar module was completely black. Not a single dot of starlight in the distance. Arman noticed it, wondered about it, but let the question drift away, like most children do when curiosity meets silence. As he grew older, the mystery remained at the back of his mind. It never truly went away. Years later, while studying photography at university, the same question came racing back to him during an unusual class demonstration. The professor turned off all the lights and placed a single candle in the center of the room. "Take a photo of the candle, and then take one of the stars," the professor said. The class laughed, unsure what to make of it. Stars in a room were clearly impossible. But the point was profound. Cameras do not see the way human eyes do. Cameras must choose. Choose what to expose. Choose what to leave out. That night, something began to shift inside Arman. For the first time, he began to understand the connection. After graduation, Arman found himself working as an assistant to a space photographer. He never even knew such a role existed until the opportunity appeared. Now he was processing photographs taken from the International Space Station. One orbit. 90 minutes. Dozens of photos. Each one stunning. The curve of the Earth glowing in blue. Solar panels gleaming with sunlight. A spacecraft floating in the foreground, lit like a sculpture. But again, the same old mystery appeared. No stars. It had been decades since Arman first noticed their absence, but now the question returned with urgency. He asked one of the senior technicians. And at last, he received the answer. It had nothing to do with secrets or fakes or deception. The explanation was far more fascinating than anything conspiracies could offer. It was all about exposure. In space, light behaves in extremes. Without an atmosphere to scatter sunlight, it shines with raw intensity. When capturing objects lit by the sun, like astronauts, satellites, or the lunar surface, the camera must use a fast shutter speed and low sensitivity. This allows it to capture the bright subjects clearly. But faint stars do not stand a chance. Their light is too soft, too distant, too gentle. A camera tuned for sunlight will never pick them up. They are drowned in the darkness by the very exposure settings needed to see anything else. It works the same on Earth. During the day, the sun washes out the stars. They are still there, but invisible. In space, the contrast is even more unforgiving. But Arman was not satisfied. He wanted to see the stars from space. So he began digging. Archival images. Research databases. Public space photo repositories. For weeks he searched. And then, finally, he found them. The Hubble Space Telescope. Its images were filled with stars. Thousands. Millions. Galaxies clustered together. Swirls of light. Nebulae stretching across infinity. These images were breathtaking. The secret? Hubble takes long exposure photographs. It stares at one tiny section of space for minutes or even hours, slowly gathering every fragment of light it can. That is how it sees the stars. That is how it captures the most distant corners of the universe. But if the same technique were used to photograph a sunlit astronaut or spacecraft, the result would be useless. The image would be blindingly white. The sensors would be overwhelmed. That is the trade-off in space photography. Capture the stars and lose everything else. Or focus on the bright object and let the stars disappear. Years later, Arman joined a team working with the European Space Agency. A new satellite was set to launch, designed to peer deeper into space than ever before. He was chosen to photograph the mission. They flew him to a launch site surrounded by forest. The day before liftoff, he walked outside at midnight. He looked up. And there they were. Stars. Countless stars. No filters. No cameras. No sensors. Just his own eyes, connecting with the universe in silence. In that moment, he finally understood. Stars are not missing. They are always there. They are simply hidden by the limits of the tools we use. The satellite launched successfully. It would go on to capture the deepest image of space ever recorded. But soon, online voices returned with familiar questions. Why are there no stars? Why does no one talk about it? Is someone hiding something? Arman watched the debates unfold, full of suspicion and half-truths. And he wanted to tell them all what he had learned. The truth is simple. Stars are not removed. They are not edited out. They are just too faint to appear in photographs taken with fast exposure settings. If the camera captures the brightness of a spacecraft, it cannot also see the stars. Just like on Earth, when the sun is up, the stars fade. In space, that rule still applies, only more dramatically. So the next time a space photo looks empty, remember this: the stars are not gone. They are hidden behind light. Behind physics. Behind the very technology that makes the photo possible. They are waiting. Waiting for longer exposure. Waiting for darkness. Waiting for someone who understands how light works, and why what you see depends on how you look. Because in space, the most powerful truths are not erased. They are simply quiet. And sometimes, the most astonishing wonders are not in what you can see. They are in what you now know has been there all along. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing content.